Gabzola, how you doing? Samaria, how you doing? If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. All right, so I've got a woman who's going to share her story. Oh my God, Queen, while I do, you don't have the latest Instagram. I can't even invite you live. I should have told you this. Download the latest Instagram. Admiral C4C, what's the gist? Wow, long time, brother. Chioma, send me. You have to have the latest Instagram, or I will not be able to invite you. Peace be upon you too, brother. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Waiting for you to come live. Upgrade your Instagram immediately. While we're waiting for her, if you're watching on TikTok, double click that screen. I'm looking for my number one gifter. Ayotola Oriade. That's my number one gifter for now. And I already have a number two gifter. Udomist. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking for those money guns. Let's make that happen. Let's pop that. Let's make that happen. Oh, yeah. Let's make that happen. Update your Instagram, madam. If you're having the old IG, so, hey, Oju baby. Somebody just sent me stars. Let me greet them. Big shout out to Florence Anyau. Thank you so much. I'm looking for the person who sent me 1,000 stars on TikTok. Sorry, on Facebook. I'm tired. I'm not going to take much of your time. Honestly, I'm tired, man. I just had to come. Okay, Queen. So let me send you a request now. Ah, send me a request. Maybe that's where the problem is. You send me a request, Queen. Send me a request to join my live. Queen, send me a request to join my live so you can share your story. Send me a request. Not for all of you, just Queen. Queen, send me a request. If you're watching on TikTok, double click my screen. My number one gifter is Ayotola Oriade, and my number 2 gifter is Sure. I'm also looking for those money guns. Pop my money guns. Queen, send me a request. I don't mean okay. Queen has sent a request. So I've sent you the request. I'm accepting your request, Queen. They were waiting for Queen now. Yes, Queen Chioma. Hello, Queen Chioma. How are you doing this beautiful
Good
evening?
evening. I'm fine. I hope you can see me like this.
We can see you very clearly. So go ahead and
Thank you.
share your story. Before you start, let me give a big shout out to someone who sent 1,000 stars, Florence Anyawu on Facebook. Thank you so much, Florence. If you guys are watching on Instagram, you could go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE. Scroll down to today's video, click on the video, bottom left hand corner, you'll see how to buy stars. If you're watching on TikTok, I'm still looking for my money guns and my number 1 and my number 2 gifter. Remember to double click the screen so more people can see the video. Please double click the screen. Let more people hear Chioma's story. Double click the screen. Pink, how are you on TikTok? If you're watching on YouTube, super chats and super stickers are the only way I'm going to read your contributions. So remember to send those in. Chioma, over to you. Tell us your story.
Daddy Freeze, good evening once again.
Good evening, my darling sister. How are you?
I'm fine. This morning I cried so much in the office. I was, in fact, my heart was so heavy. I was just looking for what to do. I became confused because of one or two things I had. The matter is still in court, actually. The matter is still in court. Yes, the matter is still in court. Now, Daddy Freeze, I got married in 1998 at the age of 20. I married this man because I so much loved him. I didn't know what love was, but I knew that I could live with him from what I saw. I never knew that I was making a very big mistake. My parents said no. My siblings said no. I said, no, I love him. I can live with him. Even though he doesn't have money, I don't care. We'll build our home together. So as God will have it, that same year, before I got married on August 29th. I got admission in January that same year, that 98, to school. So my father then was working with the Federal Polytechnic, Niger State, Bida here. Now, as I got the admission, I started going to school. Before I knew it, the man got me pregnant. I didn't know anything. I don't know anything. In fact, whether there is family planning, I don't know. My own is something entered. And when I came and told him, he said I should go and inform my mother. From there, we later went home to go and do the rites. And then we got married. I asked him, we are traveling to the village. What are you going to do? At least give my family maybe some money or something. He said no, that he only has 5,000 naira to give. My parents collected the money. My father was secretary to the director, Federal Polytechnic here at that time. So my father more or less sponsored the wedding just to cover our shame. Now we got home. What about the clothes I'm going to wear for the marriage tradition or something? He said I shouldn't worry, that they will come with it. I'm from Abia State. He said I shouldn't worry, they will come with it. Before I knew it, they came actually with the judge, the blouse, the gele. So when I saw it, they went and dressed me. I was very happy. We finished the whole thing that night. The next morning, we left to his place, bringing a new wife down. So we were dancing. Later that evening of the next day, the owner of the clothes came and carried her clothes. It was then I got to know that they borrowed both from the judge, the blouse, the gele. I started crying. He said I shouldn't worry, that he will buy me beautiful ones, in future. I to relax. So I said, well, no problem.
Hmm.
And we began to live as husband and wife. I continued going to my school. He was really frustrating me. Many a times he wouldn't give me money for transport. I will, with that pregnancy, I will trek. In fact, there was something I missed. When we were going home for that marriage or something, we entered bus, night bus to Onitsha. I was heavily pregnant. It was a attach he paid for. I don't know whether you know what they call attach, that they freeze. Attach that you will stand. I stood with my pregnancy from I stood from Mina, Niger State. I stood till we got to around Uromi side. I was tired, as if I should faint. In fact, he
Where
didn't
you see
even
this
bother.
guy one from?
Daddy Freeze, I don't know what happened to me. Truly speaking, I don't know. I stood till Uromi. So one man that was seated in that vehicle, I never knew he has been monitoring me. So when we got to that Uromi side, the man stood up and said, Madam, please come and sit down. That was how God helped me that day. I now sat down we got to Onitsha. So that one apart. We finished everything. We came back to Niger State. I continued going to school. I will trek a very long distance with that pregnancy. He wouldn't give me money for transport. He was just doing me anyhow. But me, inside my heart, I said, I will go to school. I will become somebody. Because I cannot, keep living from hand to mouth. No, I have to become somebody. So I was just suffering. At times, he will give me 2 naira then. I will enter taxi with 2 naira. When I finish lecture, I will trek back home from the school. If you see from the school to my house, at least I will take like 1 hour and before I get home. So one day, my parents got to know what was going on because they were living here with us. My father called me and said, come, my daughter, how can you be trekking, suffering as if we are dead? We are in the same town with you. Come, open up. Anything you want from today, come and tell me. I will make sure that, you finish this school and you will get a good job. From there, we continued. I had my first child. Daddy Freeze, this man, we just wake up one morning. We will not quarrel the previous day. He will just wake up this morning and then he will decide to keep malice with me. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, he wouldn't talk to me. He won't come near me. He won't ask me, how are we going to eat? Or how are we going to do anything? I have to go back to my mother's shop to go and pack things for us to be eating. And when I cook, he will eat. He will not even feel guilty.
So the man is not rich for food.
The man is not rich for food. He will eat.
But was he still sleeping with you when he was keeping malice?
No. If he's keeping malice with me, he will not sleep with me.
But
he will not even come near me. He will eat. And that eat himself, he will go to the pot and fetch it by himself. He will not allow me to serve him. Yes. He will not allow me to serve him.
I must say.
So this thing continued. The first child was born. In fact, I had 5 children. The first child was born.
Inside this kind of suffer, now you decide to collect 5 children. Inside waiting, you continue to suffer.
Daddy Freeze, see, if not now that I'm looking back and say I'm asking myself that how did I get to this? How did I get to this place? How did I do it? I don't understand. I'm going through
when you were 20, how old was the man?
He was 32.
12 years.
Sorry, he was 33. He was 33.
Years.
33. Yes.
Wow.
And after my ND, I went to teach. From there, I bought the first television we had in our house. This man became somehow lazy. He will sleep till 8 o'clock in the morning. I am the one running up and down to do things. I never knew that I was entering a very big problem in my life. Before you know it, the kids keep on coming. After my ND, I thought from there I worked in a bank, like IT, and I was well paid that period. So we were surviving on these monies. After that, Daddy Freeze, I had my 3rd child during my HND because when I wanted to apply for my HND, I told him, He said, I'm not going to school again. I asked him why. He said that my eyes have opened, that I should go and sit down in the house. I said, no, I have to go to school. So I went and bought the form from my salary that was, they were giving me in the bank as IT student. I bought the form and I was given admission. I brought it home and told him that they have given me admission. He said I should go and look for how to pay the school fees. I didn't mind. Luckily, I was paid my salary that period. I paid and registered for my HND. That was how I continued. After my third child, that the phrase, I now got to know that this man has a son, which he didn't tell me about. He has a son after his secondary school. He hid it from me. All his siblings, everybody hid the whole thing from me. So later they told me about it. Not even him, his uncles and aunties. One went for his father's burial. Told me about the boy. But I said, well, what will I do? I told the boy to come down to come and meet me where we are living so that we can stay together. The boy came, spent 1 year with us, and then decided to leave. I never knew that it was the beatings that the father was giving to me that made the boy to run away. It was not that the whole thing now opened up to me. That one apart, I continued. After my HND, I was not to go for youth service. They said we should stay at home for 6 good months. So I had to go and teach in a different school again. From there, that the freeze, we were, living and moving like that gradually. I went for my youth service. Before I could go for youth service, they posted me to Zamfara. This man said 1 naira he doesn't have to give me for transport. I was going to look for who will give me money. Later I went back to my parents. I said, oh, I don't have money and I need to go for service. Camp will soon close. It's just 3 days. My father went and looked for money. He gave me. I left for camp. Passed through Abuja. I've never been that side before. So I got to camp. Before you know it, they gave me, I'm tall and somehow huge, a little, I don't know. They gave me my boot and the boot injured me. They had to pull out my 2 big toenails inside camp. I called my husband that I need money to buy antibiotic. You know what he told me? That 1 naira he doesn't have. Oh, I should go and look for how to take care of it. I was down in the camp. I had to call my father. My father sent me a charge card of 1,005, which I sold 1,002 then. And then sent people that are going to Crusade to buy me MP clothes so that I could, take. These things continued. After camp, I had to redeploy. My sister then worked in National Hospital. So I redeployed to National Hospital in Abuja so that I can get some money to take care of my children. That the phrase, during the youth service days, I come back to Niger State twice every month. What am I coming to do? To buy food for my children. As I left for camp, hunger almost killed my children because the food I managed to keep finished. And I told my mom, I said, Mama, please, always go and check on these children. I know that their father will not do anything. So the day my mother came to check on them, there was no food. The kids were crying. I left a baby of 1 year plus in the house. 1 year, 8 months then in the house. That's my third child. Before you know it, my mother said, what is this? My daughter has not died and this is what the kids are already going through. She now called me and said, Mama, please pack them every Friday. Take them to your place. Let them do the weekend. Then you know what they need. Give them before they go back to the house because of their schooling. That was how I was doing. Every 2 weeks, I'm on my way to Niger State to come and put food in the house. And I have a husband. He doesn't call me. He doesn't care whether I'm alive, whether I will die on the road. He doesn't care. The whole thing continued. That the phrase,
but after
some of
that,
us,
why did you give birth to 2 more? If you had 3 children and they were suffering like this, why you can't born another 2?
That the phrase, I'm coming. It's one thing that leads to another thing. I'm coming. So after all that, I came back from youth service. I started working in a school. I am a confidential secretary. So I started working in a school as the first school secretary, my children's school. From there, on the 9th month, I now got federal government job. From there, things began to change for us. Before I knew it, this man just called me one day and said, from now that you've gotten federal government job, all the children's school fees, you begin to pay everything. In fact, food, The man left everything for me. Initially, he was even doing small, at least once in a while, he would bring small. But he now stopped and became something else.
What was he doing with his
Before I knew,
money? What was he doing with his money? Did he have a job?
he's a businessman. He's because when I got the job in that in the federal establishment, I started getting contracts for him. I registered his business. I tried to, in fact, because I was working with the medical director, I opened up ways for him, which he started making good money, more than what he was making before. But before I knew it, I became an enemy. Any day they pay him for the contract that I got for him, if he would just change face, he will not know me again. It's not the women outside that are, very good. Me, I became something else. So this thing continued. We kept on having issues. The next thing, he said I should go and resign, that I must resign from that job I'm doing. I said, this job that God gave us, at least to better the family, how is it a bad thing? Before you know it, he started beating me. In fact, the beating started on my 30th birthday that he freeze. My birthday gift from my husband was serious beating, thorough beating, beating upon beating.
Let's be careful with it so that the social media don't like all those stuff. They just say, okay, Popo, okay, we don't hear. Let's move on so that it doesn't.
After that, I said, where am I going? I've had kids already for him. Let me just stay and manage and see how this marriage will work. That was how we continued. I kept on suffering. I kept on borrowing money. The salary, as you are doing promotion, you are coming up gradually. So like that, I have been running the home. If I don't tell you, you will not know. My mother, my father was very good to me. They supported me till 2 years ago, when my parents finally left Niger State and went back to the village. The next 2 months, my father died. It was not as if let's see, her backbone, has gone. And before you know it, before my parents left, I called him. I said, I used to call him Daddy. I said, Daddy, please come, let's go and help them. Even though they have people that will help them pack the load, let's just be around them, and be gisting with them as they pack their things, because we may not see this man again. My husband refused to come. My husband never came until my parents left. I now saw the hatred. Now, as my father died, he said, my father's corpse was in the mortuary. We were preparing for burial. The money they shared, I had to go and borrow the money and send for my family name, because he said she doesn't have, and he cannot go and look for any money to do anything for me. I had to go and borrow money. I said me and my husband. Before you know it, he said I should give him 500,000. I said I don't have. And you know that we are building a house. In fact, we're building a 4-bedroom flat in this place that time. I said all the loans I've collected is for that house. All my lands I've sold is for that house. Let us have a place of our own. At least, the children are, they are growing up. Before you know it, the hatred became times 100 at the freeze. Before I knew it, the beating increased. And then I keep going to police station to go and make report, because I didn't want to leave the marriage because of my children, I just wanted it to work. But this man, in fact, the police even helped to make the matter look somehow again. Madam, forgive him now. She been your husband. Forgive him. This man will beat. In fact, on 2017, May 29th, he beats me that night at the freeze. He broke my face. If you see my eyes, and I was to present the paper in the office the next week. So I had to appear like that in front of my colleagues to come and present the paper I had. I asked, what is my offense? What am I doing that is making you treat me like this? He will look at me, call me poto, call me names that I am nothing. That look at you, this one, that one. I don't understand. I don't have any boyfriend.
You can't carry belly again.
That the freeze. This one is happening just like 2 years ago. But by then I have had all my children. I've had, like that year I got job in the federal establishment. I had my 4th child. My body, I'm somebody that's smarting. Even like I did family planning. If something failed me that period, so they had to remove it because I was bleeding. When they removed it, the doctor said I should hold on. Before I knew it, that another baby entered. So that was how the whole thing was happening. Then the last child that I have 4 boys and a girl. The last one now entered. That happened to be a girl. That the priest, this man said I should go and abort the baby, that he doesn't want another child. I now
That
ask
one,
him,
I don't even say I feel blame him because who want take care of 5 children for 2022?
that the priest, he said the day he wanted to do it, I told him that today, if you do anything to the CCC, so why don't you use protection? He refused. So the thing there is, some people feel maybe they are too wise. I don't know.
I'm a Saint
Yes, I
Paul.
told him. I said today, if you do anything today, baby go enter. So just relax. It's either you go and get protection or you forget about it. And he insisted, and before you know, the next thing, Bele enter. So before you know, say I must go and abort that baby. We started having issues. Before you know it, later he now calmed down, but he didn't care about me, whether I was alive, he doesn't care. When I was like 6 months gone without my last child, he said I should go and prepare my coffin. When he said that was when I now had to go and call some people, call some pastors, call my parents. They should come and help me ask him, is he planning something that I'm not aware? So that I will know the next thing to do. So when people now came, he said, it's just anger. It's out of anger that he made that comment. That he freeze. The doctor told me that my baby was coming with buttocks, that they may do a CS for me. I said, okay. I came back and I told my husband. He asked me that, do I have money for CS? I said, if I don't have money for CS, okay, I should die with the pregnancy. That he has finished asking me. So when the date came for me to come to hospital with my things, my husband left the house. I called and called. He never picked my call so that he will not spend 1 naira. What I did was, then I was still having my car. So I drove, took my chair back, and then I managed to drive the car to the hospital. And then the doctors now checked me and said, thank God the baby's head had just gone down. From there, they began to
Induce labor.
because I induced me, thank you. I didn't have any label sign, nothing. They began to induce me, and later the baby came. This man didn't ask of me throughout that day. The next day, he didn't ask of me until a matron now said, where is your husband? I said, I don't know. She collected his number and started calling him. Was now abusing the man. That, what is wrong with you? What kind of a man are you? So later he came. That one apart. That the phrase, this is a man that when I give birth, if I want to do dedication, he will give me terms and conditions. He will buy me clothes. He will buy me this. He will do this. He will do that. And I will still do it just for the sake of peace. I will still do it. He will not give us food. The children will be crying, Daddy, we are hungry. He said, wait for your mother. Wait for your mother. She will soon come back from work. Wait for your mother. The children will be sick. He will tend to wait for me. Then when I come back, she'll be working in the hospital. When I come back, I said, well, no wahala. I've taken it as my cross. What can I do? But this whole thing became so much that 2 years ago, I now finished that building. We moved in. Immediately we moved
follow
in.
you moving.
In fact, I was surprised that evening. I was surprised because I didn't know he would follow me. Because as I was building that house, trying to finish it for us to move in, he was not cooperating. I would beg him, Daddy, please, they will come and work tomorrow at the site. Please help me so that the people will not steal our cement and other things. That the next day, he will go there and then he will disappear. They will be able, those people will just steal my things. They will become, Madam, cement has finished. Madam, go and get more cement. Madam, go and do this. I said, but my husband, he said, he's not there. This thing continued until we finished and we moved in. Immediately we moved in. He now realized that he's not a landlord. He now has a house to himself. The maltreatment became too much. That if you see the beating,
that's why they give free house.
Beating
Hey,
the last beating he gave
please,
me.
if you are watching on TikTok, double click my screen. Big shout out to Sunday, Onama, and Zook for sending me 2 money guns each. And my number 1 gifter is Sunday Onama. And number 2 gifter is Ayotola Oria. They keep double clicking that screen. Double click the screen. Click the screen. Thank you very much. So you turn this man to landlord according to your story, and he's
Yes,
still
sir.
not there
Yes,
grateful.
sir. In fact, the last beating he gave me at the freeze, that day, whenever he wants to beat me, he will start keeping malice. That's his style. From the malice, he will now carry out what he wants to do. That day, no, none of my kids were, to only my small girl. He beat me like this at the freeze. The cost of beating, he closed my nose. He
Huh.
held me on my throat. That the freeze, I've said my last prayer. That I said, God, if this is how you want me to come back home in this with this kind of pain, accept my soul. Because there was nothing else. My hands were tied. I couldn't do anything. Before you know it, God now touched him on his own. He left me. Had he been held me more than that period, I would have gone. He left me. And then I was now asking myself. In fact, when he left me, that day I ran march. I said, this thing is too much. At my level, a level 12 officer in a federal state, what is it? I bought a car. He scattered the car for me. I used anger and sold the car. Still use the money to plaster the house where we are building. What is the problem, for goodness sake? What kind of marriage is this? I don't understand. Then it was that day when he finished the whole thing. I now came out and said, today own, I cannot take it anymore. You became it because in fact, I want to go and rest. I'm tired. He now started giving me more beatings. He beat me until he naked me. It was two men that ran from inside the compound that came and, remove his hand and said, "Oh God, what is wrong with you?" From there, I went to police for the third time. Police still did their normal, madam, forgive him now. His husband and wife matter. So after that period, I still stayed. And the thing that he does, whenever he beats me, he will never tell me sorry. He will beat me finish. He will never apologize to me. He will keep malice on top of it. Yes, that's what he normally does. So it's me that will come and begging him, Daddy, let's forget what happened the other day. This one, that one, that one. He will not be doing shakara. Okay. This one, that's okay, no problem. If that is how my own life has turned to, let me keep managing. Now, in the new house, the reason why I left the marriage, the day I left, there was something he now started doing. He began to poison my second son. I have two sons in university. The third one will join very soon. He started poisoning that one during NASU strike that, me, I'm a bad woman, that I earn so much money. He doesn't know what I do with my money. Before you know it, this boy, I don't know how he got the boy began to believe what the father was telling him. So one day came, the boy now, carried out what the father wanted him to do. The boy insulted me. That one made me run mad. I said, what? My own child that I've been paying his school fees from kindergarten till now. I now spark. I said today that I will not take this one from anybody. Not take my own son to turn against me because of what the father told him. I will not take it. That was how issues now became plenty. The father came out and saw what the son did. The father said, he started clapping. I told you, Satan, that one day your children will beat you. Shege has started. Hey, he was happy, and the next thing I started crying. I carried my bag and left for the office. So from there, then there was a laptop. I paid part of the money for that, my son. So I said, since I'm no longer your mother, give me the laptop or give me the money I paid. Let me remove hand from you completely. So from there, he now said that he will give me the money that I paid. In 3 days' time, I should not worry. You give me the money back. But that if it's when that day's time came, I asked him, Daddy, what about the money for the laptop? Because I want to use the money.
You too, you want to collect money back. You self no try you.
Daddy, please, I want to collect that money.
Normally, you want to go collect money of laptop.
I think what happened that they really made the whole thing, made me know, and they made me to do the right thing for the first time in my life. That this man opened up his mouth and said that me, I'm very stupid. That in fact, that he prefers to be hanged after killing me. Hey, when he said that, I said, what did you say? Please say it again, Daddy. What did you say? Just repeat it. I quickly carried my phone because I wanted to record that statement direct from his mouth. So when he saw that I've, head onto my phone, he didn't repeat it again. But luckily, my children already heard what he said. I didn't even know that they were near the door when he said that he prefers to be hanged after killing me. It was that night. That night I sat down. I looked at myself. I said, for these 24 years, what have I done in this marriage? What have I really, thank God I have children, yes, I really achieved. For a husband to tell me, my own husband, to tell me that he prefers to be hanged after killing me. It was that night I made up my mind to leave. And that the phrase in 2016, we did blessing of marriage, because he said he will never wed me. That is only bad women that clamor for marriage, for wedding, that he will never wed me. So that 2016, I had to organize the wedding myself. I sponsored it alone. Did everything alone. That the phrase, I was just trying to cover my head, trying to make the marriage, let it just work. After the whole thing, that the phrase, the next day he began to call his friends. That me, I used the money I would have given him. I used it to go and do wedding, do useless wedding. He started quarreling me. So that night that he made that comment that he prefers to be hanged after killing me, it was that day I borrowed myself sense to leave that marriage. That was last year, April 23rd. And the next morning, I went to the church to sweep. I'm a sanctuary keeper. I went to sweep. So my way coming back, I was asking God, what do I do? I don't have money. How do I pack my things? Then the next thing, I just heard the voice telling me I should go and meet some woman. She should give me her car. That was how I went. The woman gave me her car immediately. And I came back home. My kids were already started packing. They were already packing our load.
Inside the house that you built?
Yes.
You are now packing to leave?
Daddy Freeze, we built the house together, even though my own money is seriously more than his money. But Daddy Freeze, instead of me to lose my life because of property, because I've seen that is what he's after. He's after the property. So I have to run for my dear life. I had to go and rent a room and parlor with my children since that last year till
that your
now.
Son will turn against you, he follow you, or he stay with him, Papa?
That one, I say he should stay with his father. But what happened was that after 3 months that I left, the boy eye now opened. He now came begging me. He came several times to the office. I said, please go and meet your father. He said, Mommy, please, my eyes have opened. I don't know what that did to me that made me misbehave. Mommy, please help me. So after so much play, I had to forgive him. He's my son. I had to forgive him and let go. And thank God, since that time to today, everybody, we're all doing with me and my kid. So this January, I said, let me give him time and see his reaction since I left. Let me know what he will do. Daddy, please, this man never asked of his children. He didn't ask of anybody. Okay, let him even look for, if you have issue with your wife, what about your kids, your own children? So January this year, I went to the court. I filed for a divorce. And then the matter now started. My lawyer wrote a petition, to his own lawyer. The next thing that I saw when he responded to the petition, this man wrote that the 5 children we have together, that if you see my children, I thank God. That the children we have together, that he is not the father to some of these children. It is written down. It's not verbally something. It is written down that he is not the father to all of them. That is my ex-boyfriend that have some of them. And that the phrase, for these 24 years that I've been married, I have never one day cheated on this man. I have never. Because I know the family I came out from. I have never. Why would I do that kind of rubbish? Even as keeping malice with me, it even made me strong. It made me, So when he said that, with other lies, he lied on my head. I said, very good. Now the matter has started. I'm surprised yesterday was when he was to go and testify. He is now removing some of those things. He's not repeating them again in the court. That is, I am insisting that there must be a DNA for the whole children. After the DNA, I will sue him for defamation of character. He's not trying because now his eyes are open. Maybe that what he did is going to cause him plenty wahala. He's not trying to withdraw some. He can't withdraw anything that you've written down already in his response. I'm holding my copy. I have to stand on it. So that it freeze. I sent you that message. I said, my head, I just want to say this my story to the world. I am getting, in fact, I don't know the word to use. I have been so cheated. The man cheated me so much that right now, I don't know what to do. Now, yesterday, he told them in the court that he doesn't want the marriage to be dissolved. For where? You don't want the marriage to be dissolved. You are treating me like this. Inside my heart, it has been dissolved already. I'm just waiting for the time the court will do their work. This man, at a point, there was a day he broke my second son's head in the course of beating him some years ago. He broke that boy's head. The skull opened. And then he left the boy. Me, I was preparing to go to work. As I came out, I saw blood. I shouted, what is it? I had to rush that boy to the hospital. AIA, this thing, unit. They quickly sutured the head. It didn't reach 6 months. He broke my third son's head again. He broke in the course of beating. You are beating your child, you carry the head and hit on the wall. Why? Why would the head break? I was not asking him. I said, is that how fathers discipline children? Do you want to kill your own child with your own hand? When we got to the hospital for that second one, the doctor and the nurses there, they got angry. They said, who did this? I told them it's my husband. They said, give us his number. They started calling. He didn't pick. Then I said, go home and tell him that if he should try it again, we'll come and arrest him with our own hands. Now, as I left the marriage that last year, April, I left on a Saturday. Monday morning, I went to area commander's office in the police station here. I went to go and make official complaint about this whole thing that I call marriage to the man. When I finished talking, the man said, what? He now sent for him. They went and got him. He came. The man talked to him. In fact, he said, Oga, tell me, what is your problem? Tell me what this woman is doing to you that is making you to maltreat her like this. That he freeze. He said that me, I'm no longer sweeping house. That I'm no longer cooking. I said, me, that I cook every weekend. I cook large pot of soup and stew. What is the problem? The man now said, once the children learn how to cook, will the mother keep cooking for them till people that are enrolled in university? No. Oga, you are getting it wrong. He now talked to the man. He said, look, as you are living here now, go and make your statement. And then, if anything happens to this woman, we are coming for you. Oga, you are highly responsible. And secondly, he said, Oga, let me tell you, go now and go and make peace with this woman. If you don't want to marry her again, return her back to her people. I was thinking that after that whole talk, that the man will even, maybe, we have to, maybe I'm be remorseful that, okay, I've not been doing well for where he became something else. The hatred became over 100 at the freeze. And if you see this man outside, he looks so quiet, so innocent. But I thank God that all the Igbos in this place, they know him. A very difficult man to live with, difficult man to handle. You can never give him advice and he will take the advice you give him. I said, oh, I don't know how I did wrong. I don't know if I made a mistake. I said, God, forgive me. If I made a mistake, maybe I married another person's husband or I married my enemy. God should please show me mercy. I don't know. He will look at me and call me poto, call me names. If you see what, oh Jesus, in fact, that the phrase. There are some things I didn't even say here. I was in my office. You know, they said there are some things you should keep, even though the marriage has ended. So let me just keep that one. Because if I say it here, everybody listening to me will be disappointed. So let me just
say it. Because if he's coming to any, we will send message to him to come and share his own side of the story. So you better say your own fully, so it will not look like.
Okay. Now I was in my office one day. The police people called me. When they called me, what's happening? So I should come first. I went to the station. My husband was in the cell. What happened? I left him in the morning in the house now. What happened? The nurse showed me one dirty-looking girl that he wanted to rape. That day, as if I should open the ground and enter. This man finished me. I started crying. The policeman asked him, Oga, is this your wife? He said, yes. They said, Oga, you no get shame. God. They said, look at your wife. Look at what is wrong with you? And I asked in front of you, have you ever come to me before for sex? Sorry for,
Whatever
and
it
then
is,
I
yes.
refuse you? Thank you. Have I ever, what is the problem? Even though I know that you used to go out, I still pretend as if I don't know you are doing it. What do you really want in this marriage? That the phrase that day, I had all the money because I was selling ice block then. I had ice block machine. I was all the money I stole that day. I used to close the case. It was not enough. I called my mother, Mama, come. My mother came to the station. I said, come with some money. She came. We ended that case that night. To the point that one journalist even came that she had that somebody called her. There's a attempted rape case that she want to come and cover it. Before you know it, the policemen helped me. They just asked her to go. Nothing like that. The whole matter ended that night. Do you know that till today, this man never told me sorry for what I did? Sorry for what I did. The policeman came to my house to carry children mattress as exhibit. Because that was where the girl said he wanted to lay her.
Ah.
I still forgave him, even though he never apologized. I still forgave him. Even people were coming to ask me, they heard that my house. I said it's not true, it's just rumor. And they believed me. But I regret saying these things on social media. They say it's not good to bring your marriage outside, but that is freeze. This one have reached me here. If you see the kind of lie this man is lying on my head, if you see the kind of lie he's lying on my head, you'll now be wondering, what is really happening? What has gone wrong with marriages these days? A man will not be doing well. He will not want to make adjustment. He will not want to make amends. That the freeze in these 24 years of marriage, even common slippers he has never bought for me. I'm the one. I used to buy. I buy him clothes. In fact, there was a time I bought him Italian shoe for his birthday, just to make him happy, so that he will not feel maybe I'm earning more than him, and maybe I'm not suppressing him. So I try to make him, be okay. But the man, for real, there's nothing I do. I said common slippers he has never bought for me before. Talk more of clothes, but I still stayed because I'm a hustler. I anything. In fact, I'm not the lazy type. I'm not the lazy type. That the phrase, this man will carry the car that I bought. He will go out and go and scatter the car and come back. Madam, somebody came and hit me today, and the bumper scattered. See your car. Go and fix it. I said, you're supposed to fix the car for me for where? He will not fix anything. In fact, that the phrase, if he's going out now, you come and peep. Is there fuel in the car? If there is fuel, give me the car key. You collect car key. When you come back, you park the car for me. That's all. You will not put fuel. In fact, if where he's going, maybe it's a place he wants to go and do anything, he was okay. Let him just put fuel 500 naira. So that when you go and come back, the fuel will finish. It was that bad. But I still stayed because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want the marriage to end. This that the phrase, see, let me tell you something today. Thank God I'm here today talking. You see, before I started watching you, before I started following you, we were made not to listen to you. Even in the church, they will be calling your name and, this so person. So it was in the church I even had the name for the phrase. Who is this that the phrase? They said that time you spoke about tithe.
Yes.
You spoke about tithe. It was that time. I said, who is this? So I came and started searching for you. And then I saw you. I said, From there, I started listening to you. And truly speaking, I have learned so much from you. And I'm grateful. Because what you taught me, what I've learned from you, is what is making me have this courage I have today. Giving me this boldness that I have today. To even say I'm packing out of that hopeless marriage. That dungeon, because that thing is not a marriage. My children will ask, Mommy, where did they meet this kind of man from? Mommy, where did you see this kind of man from? I said, my dear, I was young that time. I was naive. I didn't know anything. So he took advantage of me and he did whatever he wanted to do. But now I know better. I know better. So that the phrase, I don't know. I really need help. Because this man, he has made me, I am now, the loans I collected for building the house. I collected loans. I sold my lands, sold my car, everything entered the house. Now I'm back to tenants. I am not paying rent. I'm still paying those loans. That the phrase, the ceiling in that house, the money is still remaining 200 and something thousand. I've not finished paying. I said I'm not paying again until this month. Let me see what the court will do. The carpenter that roofed that house, I'm still having a balance of 95K to give him. the children's school, I'm still owing some money in their schools where they finish from the freeze. Which one will I leave? It's just that I decided, made up my mind that from beginning of this marriage, nothing like looking out elsewhere for anything. Let me see. Let God just help me. And God has been helping me. But that the freeze, the man now took it that maybe it is right. Before I drink Gary, I have to get the Gary before I drink it. Like that. He doesn't care whether his kids are starving, even when we're together. Whether they're starving, he doesn't care. This man will leave in the morning, just leave the house. That day there's no food. He said, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? He will leave. I will now go and be looking for who will give me what I will come and cook for my children. So that when salary is paid, I will go and pay the person. Because of the loans I'm already paying. That the freeze. My heart has been heavy, and I believe after today, I will have peace. The peace that I want, I will have it. By God's special grace,
Amen.
I will have it.
My darling sister, I hope you know that he also has the right to come and share his own side of the story. For the sake of balance, we always encourage both parties to share their stories. So if he's listening, we would also like to hear from him. We would like him to share his own side of the story. And a lot of our viewers have also been asking for his side of the story, which is not, which is the right thing to do, because even if you go to court, the judge will hear from both sides of the story.
Yes.
So far from what you have told us, we can see that you've been through a lot. You've really been traumatized in this situation. And I must say, it's really a tough situation you find yourself in. However, I'm constrained to say more than that until we hear his side of the story, which, in the spirit of fairness, we have to encourage. Um, I'm going to bring in a couple of people, maybe one or two people, just for the next. Or you know what, the story has been tough enough. Let me just ask you, what would you want us to help you with?
That it is, I would really like people to help me in the area of justice. I didn't want justice in this matter. I don't want the marriage anymore. Like I said, I don't want the marriage. I want justice, and then, like I told them in the courts, let him begin to bring money for his children upkeep. Let him just begin to support for these kids. But they are bearing his name. They are bearing his name. No matter how I share it, they are bearing his name. Let him take care of his children. And that will be it. Like the house we built together. I told them in the court that house, I am not going to say they should maybe chase him away or anything, but that the house is for my biological children. I've left it for my kids. They want anything they want to do with it in the future, but I don't know what court will say.
Don't say that.
I don't
in
know
court.
what he will do.
Do you have a good lawyer, first of all?
That is freeze. That's the issue. My lawyers are not making me happy. That was why I cried today. They're not making me happy. The way they have been handling this matter, I'm not impressed. And because of money, the money I've paid them, I've not finished paying them, but I gave them half. But that the freeze. If I have money, I would have gone to get a better lawyer, and then I forget about them. Truly speaking.
Okay. Why do you say your lawyers are not making you happy?
The way they do. In fact, like the day I testified in the court, my ex-husband's lawyer. Let me call him ex, please. My ex-husband's lawyer is somehow intimidating my own lawyers. I think he's vast in knowledge, or I don't know. I think he's more experienced more than them, or something like that. But I know that the judge. I still have faith in the judge that the judge will do the right thing. From the way I look at him, I believe he will do the right thing. But I don't know. This is my first time of going to law court. I don't want something that make me to cry tomorrow and then maybe lose it. So that's why I'm just trying to see how I can get this justice.
Okay, my dear sister.
Yes.
We'll wait for his side of the story, and then would also hope you get justice. I'm glad you shared your story. You haven't told us your name, though.
Okay, sorry. My name is Queen Chioma.
Okay, Queen Chioma. So that if people know
Sorry, I
you,
forgot something that is.
yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Um, uh, there was something I remembered now, and it has escaped again. Go ahead. Maybe I'll remember
How
later.
old are you
I'll
now,
remember
Queen
later.
Chioma?
I'm 45. Yes, I remember now. He said he's been telling people and telling. In fact, he called my first son the other time and said he's going to reduce me to nothing. He's been threatening me. His elder brother equally threatened me that in their village, no woman married in their village has the right to divorce her husband. That any woman that tries it dies mysteriously. He now made a reference to one of their uncle. And I know the uncle that the man, can I remember how the wife died? That is the same thing, that the woman divorced the husband, and after much pleading, the next thing that she died mysteriously. And I told him, I say, you cannot kill me because my hands are clean. I never wronged you people. I didn't wrong your brother. My hands are clean. I never did anything that will warrant me dying. So for that reason, you people cannot kill me. That I'm running away from my life. You now want to kill me. You want to compel me to be in the marriage that is not working. So that tomorrow, when he finally kills me with his hands, then he will lie. He will deny that he never. In fact, that the phrase when he responded to my petition, he never agreed even for once that he has beaten me before.
He will not agree.
He never agreed. But when the whole thing became this thing, he now said the right hand that actually we used to fight. I said, which one be fight? Oh God. He now said that if he cannot have me, nobody again in this world will ever have me. I said, what kind of talk is that? I don't understand where this one is coming from. This man made me that my self-esteem became zero. If I'm going to work, I'll be looking at myself. In fact, maybe something is wrong with me. I don't know. It was since I left that house last year till now that I now became my normal self. That I became, at least I can think now. I have my peace of mind somehow, but at least I am better off than before.
It's a very sad.
My mother will go to bush market, buy things, and bring to my house. He will be eating. He will not care to know, okay, this woman that is helping us like this, how do we take it for where? For where? That the phrase, my father died. The day my father died, I traveled that day to Abuja. We had an official assignment in Abuja. That night, my father died. I got to Abuja. He never called me to say, have you reached? Or didn't you reach? I now called him and said, my father just died. I was crying. You know what he said? Hello, what is it? I said, my father just died. He said, sorry. He ended the call. That the phrase, he never called me back. He never called my mother. From Abuja, I now had to go to my hometown, Abia State, to go and see my mother. This man never called my mother until I went and came back.
You are expecting him to love you, and he's not ready to love you in that regard. But like I said, we need to hear from him first before I can say anything else, so that tomorrow they will not say, that the free is now only one side they hear. They hear two sides. You understand? Then
I understand.
You also need to. I'm not one of those people that agree that if you divorce, something will happen to you. Now, lie, nothing will do anybody. If you believe something will happen to you, then that's what you believe will happen to you. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. It's as simple as that. I don't like it when people are conned into compulsory relationships.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? With people who
Yes.
seem to be traumatic to their lives, whether we like it or not, whether you're telling the truth or you're telling us a lie, this relationship definitely traumatized you. We can't run away from
Seriously.
that. I don't know if I'm making sense. So, and we can't
Yes. Yes.
allow you, because I remember when the judge was ending my own marriage, the judge said something. She said, it does not make any sense. I'm not using her exact words. To allow, because I also was a victim of domestic, what is it called? And she said, it makes no sense for someone to continue living in a bad situation. Now, the difference between my case and your case is, women, they are quick to quickly cry. They know how to run and come and cry and say,
Mm.
and they were the ones. But luckily for me, I was able to get some evidence to prove my case beyond reasonable doubt. She did not have any evidence. She said, "Na me they attack him." Me, I say no, and it's written down in our court papers. But you see, and divorce can be very toxic. The marriage is toxic. The divorce too will be toxic, but in another dimension. I've not seen my kids in about 7 years now. And the narrative will be the kids don't want to see me. I have other children. How come those ones want to see me? It is your own children that don't want to see me because of what you have fed them and what you have put inside their head. You understand what I'm
Yes.
telling you? So
Yes.
some people are like that. As you say, go marry me again. I go spoil your life.
Mm.
And I went through that level of toxicity myself. But you see, like you said, moving away from the source of toxicity is worth $1 million. A lot of people will say, look for your children. Looking for my children involves going through her. I will never do that. I will never do that. You are lucky you have your children. He left you with the children. You don't know the luck where you get to. You don't know the luck where
But
you
he's
get.
claiming he's
It's
asking for custody. Likewise me. So I don't know how. He's
oh.
asking for custody.
How
The
many
children he
children do
can't
you
even take
have?
care of.
How many children do you have?
I have five.
5. How old
Three
is
are
the
already
youngest?
three. The youngest is 9.
Okay, after 9,
15.
after 15,
Then 19.
19 is out.
19.
19 is out.
Mhm.
Uh, Even 15, the likelihood that the judge would ask that child where the child wants to stay is very high. That's why you need
Mhm.
to get good lawyers. They will probably ask the child, where do you want to stay? Is that 9-year-old, which is a girl, I
Mm.
doubt if any judge in their right senses will give a 9-year-old girl to the father to take care of when the mother is alive. You understand? Especially if you
Yes.
can establish that case that you said that he tried to force someone.
Yes.
If you have the police record, but you don't go use your hand wipe the police record, according to you.
But the case file is still there.
Oh, if
They
there's
can
a
make
case
reference to
file there,
it.
you can resurrect that in your favor
Yes.
when it comes to children.
Yes.
Because I am worried if truly he doesn't give any money for food, why does a man who cannot feed children, according to you, because we are still waiting to hear from him, why does a man who
Mm.
cannot feed his children, why does he have custody of children? Of course, he'll receive his visitation rights and all that, and what have you. But like I'd always say, even divorce is a very toxic place. And you might be you might be happier, but you're going to exchange your happiness for something like, okay, now you no longer live in your house, you live in a one-room apartment. This is a woman that used to be a landlord, all of a sudden is a tenant, not even in a nice house, in a one-room apartment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So So you have to be able to deal with that. And like I said, even if tomorrow he comes and denies all your story and says you are the one that used to do things to him, it is one thing is obvious: the two of you cannot live together in peace and happiness.
Yes.
So the dissolution of the marriage, in my opinion, is the right thing to do, not just for you, but for the both of you. If
Yes.
somebody is making you sad to the point where you can come on Daddy Free's live with your face and tell your story, there's a problem already.
Thank you.
There's a problem already. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying the two of you are not good together. For the safety and sanity of yourselves and your children, it is better you are separated. Separated at least. I will not advise. Some courts want you to try to repair the marriage. They say for the sake of the children. I disagree with that entirely. I'm not a judge. I don't claim to be, neither am I a lawyer nor am I trained to be. However, I'm a human being that has common sense. And there are some things I see. Osina chikpa inside marriage. Waiting be being bokpa inside marriage. If they had listened to me and left the marriage, because I've been preaching this thing for like 7, 8 years, if they had listened to me and left, they will be alive today. Abokoku root, it not the end well. Oh. For me, I might not have seen my children in 7 years, but I'm in a way better place now than I was in 2012 when the marriage crisis was at its worst. My ex left in 2014, almost 10 years next year. I've moved on, and I'm sure she too has moved on. But you see, she weaponized the children. And in a divorce, the tendency for the couple to be going against each other, using the children as shields when necessary and weapons when necessary, is always the order of the day. So just be strong. You know what to expect. And if he comes here, this is how we work on my platform. If he comes here to share his own side of the story and you don't agree with it, I will now bring the two of you together.
Okay.
So the two of you will be here and then you be. That is if he comes and shares his own story and you feel, well, I don't talk my own, go. He can say his own and go, no problem. But if after he talks, you feel unsatisfied with what he said, then I will open up what is it called? The line for the two of you. However, since the case is in court already, which I wasn't aware of when we started the live. Normally, I try to stay away from cases that are in court because I don't want to, how do I say it, prejudice the matter. And sometimes the judge can throw your case out of court. If you, okay, so as you did my court, you can't carry the matter, go court of public opinion. So sometimes bringing the matter to the public can prejudice the case. So we hope that doesn't happen. And we need to be careful with that. You had already started telling your story and you had gone way into it. So I couldn't just say stop at that point. It would be unreasonable of me to just say, hey, stop. So I allowed you finish. But normally when a case is in court, you are not supposed to talk about it or else you can prejudice the matter. I wouldn't tell you what my opinion on that is because you are here. Maybe on another day, on another live, I may talk about that because I've noticed sometimes people want to lift a weight off their shoulders. So it's not like you are coming to Daddy Freeze to come and give you justice because Daddy Freeze cannot give you justice. But you want to subjudice the matter. God bless you. That's the right term. But you just want to lift up the weight that you are carrying. So if the court asks why did you come, because you had a heavy burden, the court will can give you justice, but the court cannot give you therapy. And coming to share your problem to the public is a form of therapy, from what many people have said. Most people that come here always go home feeling a bit better. At least I've told my side of the story. So you don't expect justice from us. It is not our department or our duty to give justice. However, we can help you, give you a listening ear, so you can air your problems and feel lighter. But truly, if I had known that the case was already in court, I might have been a bit more hesitant in bringing you live. But I'm glad you've shared your story for your own sake and for your own mind. And we pray the court gives you justice, and we also pray you find peace with yourself and your children. Remember, be strong. Don't lose your mind over any man or over any marriage. I know if you talk pass like that. My darling sister, God bless
Thank you so much.
Now,
Amen.
my advice, you might not want it, but try to speed up the divorce proceedings so you can move on. Don't move on with a man before the marriage has been dissolved. I don't know if you have a man somewhere now, or you are trying to get into a relationship or anything like that.
Not yet.
Uh-huh.
Not yet.
If he catches you with a man, even while you are in court, as you have moved out of his house since last year, he will file adultery. It happened to
Mm,
me. You understand?
I know.
The kind of person with me I believe
Yes.
say, as this one don't end, what am I doing? What am I wasting my time? And I'm glad I took that decision. I'm glad it's the best decision I took, because I moved on with my life very quickly. However, the disadvantage is it will haunt you, or it may haunt you. So make him no catch you. If he catch you with man, now allow. So the
No
best
problem.
thing where you go do be say try speed up the case, so you go move on. You are 45 years old. You have about 10 years left before menopause. You don't want to be lonely and bitter in your old age. Make you just gather cobweb for that place. You understand what I tell you? So it is also
I
good you
understand.
experience the love of a man or a relationship where you at least feel fulfilled. Uh-huh. You also need to heal, because you get the way you go meet another relationship now. The madness where you carry come from that relation, you go just carry and give the next person. Then now one go carry him bag run. You will come be like saying now you get problem. You understand? So be
Yes.
be very, very guided and be very careful. I hope this helped.
Yes. Thank
All
you
right.
so much, Daddy Freeze.
All right. God
Yes, my
bless you.
heart, my heart is okay now.
God bless you. So of course we have to hear from him. If he
Amen.
wants, we're available. So let him to come and tell us his side of the story. Choma, good
Please.
night. Good night, my sister.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye. Thank you
Thank you.
all for watching. We
Bye.
cannot go beyond that. I actually at a point I wanted to bring people on, but I think I'll leave it like that. For those of you who send gifts on TikTok, my number one gifter is Ayotola Oriade 12. Thank you so much. And my number two gifter is Moscow. I did get quite a few money guns. Thank you so much, Sunday Onoma and Zook Evik. Also, on Facebook, very big shout out to Ashley, Winson, Florence Anyawu, Rich King, and uh, Truth Sayer. Love your show. Thank you all so much. Take care and good night. Pop those money guns before you leave if you're watching on TikTok, and keep sending those gifts. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
TikTok. Double click my screen. Double